strap in. We got a fun one. We got William Byer, Matt Padovano, and Uzai's coming in late. And boy, oh boy, is it going to be a cast today. We're discussing the future of the human race and all sorts of fun stuff. I duly apologize for being a colossal moron, but hey, that's fine. Let's get started. How are we all doing? How are we all doing this fine evening?
I'm doing great.
Me as well.
Good.
Swell.
Oh yeah, we should address this early. All three of us, including Uzai, is going to come a little bit later into the cast. We all just got back from training, so the compound we are in the Northern Territories, it reeks. Holy cow! It is a Smellington over here.
Yeah, I mean, Shrek would be jealous of this stank.
Yeah, really. And also,
It was a warm one out there today.
yeah,
Ethan, just move the mic a bit further away.
it wasn't cold. So yeah, let's just dive right on into it, shall we? Let's just get going here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today our first topic of conversation is if the world were to end and Earth just became inhospitable to all humanity, we couldn't do anything else here. How would we survive? Where would we go? What would we do? Would we go to space? Would we go underground?
Kick the bucket.
Yeah, or just kick the bucket. What do you think?
As it stands, like right now, if we're having right now.
Yeah, like so say like there's no time for preparation, just like all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die soon if we don't get
Solar
off this
flare.
plane.
What?
Right.
Yeah. So let's say what's the time frame? Let's give ourselves like 48 hours to get things going, like a year to get things going.
Let's just say like you have enough preparation. Let's say like 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
5 years.
So we know it's
Given
gonna happen.
5 years.
Well, I don't
Get
think
off
it's
this-
not realistic. They'd send some people to Mars, but there's no way it's not realistic. So I think we'd either go underground or die.
I'd say the only chance, very far fetched, probably never would happen, but our only chance would to be go to another universe or another galaxy.
Yeah, I agree. Completely.
Find a way to travel through wormholes and get somewhere where we could find another Earth-like, or figure out how to navigate the multiverse and go to Earth 2 or 3 or a million.
Comic books. Well,
Watch
I mean,
Spider-Man.
we have found a lot of Earth-like planets. We found huge places that are just covered with water, have a fitting atmosphere in the right space between the sun and cold void of space.
Yep.
So I think our best
The
bet
Goldilocks zone.
is not to go there because that would take over 200 years to get to any planet,
I
even when
hate it
traveling
when
at the
that
speed of light.
happens.
Yeah, and it's just like, god damn it.
Siri, give me
Well,
driving
we could go
directions to
hyperspeed.
Alpha Centauri 2.
We can go
My
full Star
leftovers
Wars
are
and go
gonna spoil.
hyperspeed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
No,
No.
but you know what I found interesting is that even if we were to like go to like a planet that was covered in water, like it's impossible for the humans to evolve to be able to breathe underwater. No matter how long you live there or how long you're there, like it would be impossible for the human body to.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Where did you? Wow, does that
Well,
work?
actually,
Don't you think given enough time you'll evolve
Oh yes.
regardless?
Given enough time, we will evolve. We'll actually
I
probably
mean,
become
maybe, but
less functional beings as we get more
Become like-
technologically advanced.
Oh,
but like
that's a good point.
it would take like
Millions
of years, and by that time the human race would probably be dead.
It wouldn't
because-
even be the human race
It wouldn't be
anymore.
the human race.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole theory that if we were to become like a spacefaring empire, after millions of years, we wouldn't even be recognizable from each other because all places would make us evolve differently, adapt differently.
Yeah,
And I think
Would
Uzai
you-
is walking up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I took it from John Kokoza after some girl threw up on my shirt. So.
I hate it when that happens.
Good to be
Alright,
back, guys.
We're discussing
oh,
the.
Uzai's also first time back for what was
Yeah.
it? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, dude.
the
I was
s-
actually watching the last episode on the way here, so.
Yeah.
Oof, that's unfortunate.
And
So
yes,
committed.
I do have a plan for everything. Actually, I had a plan for your response in this chat.
Oh, what is that plan?
Nothing.
Oh,
I just acknowledge it.
oh, that's not a very good plan.
Well, it's a plan nonetheless.
Here, take these.
Oh, you're so kind.
So
I snagged
Uzai,
ahead of
just
the table.
because you
so.
are jumping in, and for those two people who are currently watching and some had messed it up and didn't tune in at exactly 6:30 when we started.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
Did no one post an Instagram page?
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Oh my god, I got it. Alright, ask me a question. I can multitask.
Okay,
So-
so we're talking about how if Earth became inhospitable, how would we survive? Would we go to another planet, Mars? Would we go underground? Or
Oh,
would we just
absolutely,
die?
another planet. Are you kidding? I mean, how are you gonna like plant enough food and like supply for everyone underground?
You poop.
That's actually
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
Poop?
You,
Is
you
that it?
poop, you pee.
No, but how like aren't there issues like sunlight or whatever? Like, wouldn't it be easier to just go to like Mars or something and then just colonize Mars?
Yeah, they
Well,
actually have
it's-
some neat ideas of how to do that. Like they
What's the
had.
timeline for that
Dude.
with the whole SpaceX thing?
Elon Musk has it all set up, dude. You go to Mars, right? He has like the SpaceX thingy, and then electric cars. Everything's with Tesla, and he's got like like the boring thing he's producing,
the
where they have
Boring
like
Company,
the
yeah.
tunnels under like that or whatever. Dude, everything's like coming together. He's literally gonna own Mars. Yeah, it's happening,
I
dude.
own Mars. You
It's
know
right-
who
I
I
think it's a
am.
Mars.
Who do you think will
It's
be the
happening right
first
in front of us.
trillionaire? Do you think there'll be a trillionaire in our lifetime?
Jeff Bezos will be a trillionaire within the next 4 years.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is like.
I
Oh,
have
did you guys hear
no-
about that? He's Amazon and Jeff Bezos are launching a new business venture where they're putting 3,200 and something satellites into space, and basically instead of using traditional internet, it's essentially beams. it like shoots down. It shoots down high-speed internet, so it's gonna make internet way more accessible in places like inland Africa and stuff like that, where they just
Oh, of
generally
course,
don't have
where-
access to
Where
it.
A starving African child reaches into their
Watch-
back pocket and pulls out an iPhone
Yeah,
6.
watches Logan Paul.
Just watches Fortnite
Yeah,
comps.
you see his rib cage. Be a maverick.
Oh, Madison, you can't hit me. You can't hit the screen, you fool. Oh, silly Madison. Either way,
I don't know.
We
I
have-
feel like we.
I think yeah.
But
given a time frame, we could go pretty much anywhere. We could
yeah,
do
if all of
anything.
humanity gets together, which would never happen, but still.
Bro.
I watched this stupid video today of like some chick doing like the space training, like the space camps,
Mhm.
and then she's like, I want to be the first
Maverick
like
in space.
like person to land on the moon, or not moon, fucking moon. Mars. Mars, we were learning
Travels
that.
back in time to 1965.
No, that's impressive, but still,
Kills Neil
and it's like
Armstrong walking on the thing.
it's like
That's one small star. Oh, just stabs him.
that'd be actually like a big plot
with the
twist.
American flag,
Yeah.
just runs to the flips back into the thing.
No, with the Russian flag.
Just like slams
The
the
space
ground
race is
and
on.
This
falls
is
off.
for Mother Russia. Dude, she was hiding like the storage space the entire time. No, this like she was like a 16 or 17-year-old girl, like our age, right?
Yeah,
And she learned Chinese, Russian, English, and German, right?
as you
I
do.
think you just shut off my mic, by the way,
No.
or something. Okay, whatever. And then she did like 10 years of like this like rigorous space camp thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like this is actually like happening like soon. Like it's gonna be in our lifetime that we.
She's doing it with
colonize
NASA or
Mars.
SpaceX? Are they working together? I literally have no idea.
No,
about
it's.
this.
I think they're
Are they
independent.
totally
things.
independent? Like,
NASA is the one with the mission to Mars.
Yeah.
SpaceX is all about well their whole design
Commercializing space.
Yeah.
was like they can send a rocket up and it'll come back, which like that was like the big spiel.
Dylan will teach you how to fix scratches on a car after this. Trust me.
Oh, thank you.
I
Dylan.
already know.
Did you watch the video about Elon Musk when he like he was told that like Buzz Aldrin or whatever like thought that commercializing
But Buzz Aldrin doesn't exist. The whole moon landing's fake. And he
Buzz
is not
Lightyear?
real.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Elon Musk just kicks down the door.
Wait, who?
Okay, sorry.
Who's
um,
Who's Buzz?
Buzz Aldrin is the second man on the moon.
yeah.
Okay.
How he
The
was,
one
like,
no
saying,
one
like,
remembers.
Yeah, exactly. No, the one that no one was the guy that
Commercializing-
stayed in the shuttle. There was a third dude,
Oh,
and no one
feels
knows his
bad,
He
name.
man.
orbited around the moon.
Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I,
that
no,
sucks.
I literally learned his name, so I would be the guy at the fucking party that's like,
Aw.
oh yeah, I know the third guy.
You
And I
must feel
forgot
s-
it because he's so
It
forgettable.
must feel so good to like give that guy credit. It's like I'm gonna be the one that makes sure this guy's
I
remembered.
know. I literally Wikipedia'd it, and then I forgot it because
Dude,
how
that's
forgettable
scary.
he is.
Major like BDE for going to space for the first time, dude.
Yeah.
That's
That is true.
But anyways,
Really.
so Buzz was saying like that like he was like super against Elon Musk like commercializing
Space.
space, and Elon Musk started crying on screen because he's like, these
Aw.
guys are my heroes, like, and they're like hating me.
that's
Well,
sad.
And he started
Well,
crying.
I mean,
What's wrong with commercializing space?
Well, it's
I agree
just
with that.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you
space
meant I
is
agree.
considered under international law to be something that no one has any claim to whatsoever.
That's
at
gonna
all.
change very soon.
Yeah.
There's gonna be territories and stuff.
Yeah. Either way.
And I bet there's gonna be like minerals and stuff.
Oh, the asteroid mine? No way. You can't stop that asteroid.
No, I think it's actually. I think that's actually real.
No, that's I watched
They
a YouTube
have
video.
ventures.
That
I
is
watched
real.
a YouTube video about that.
Miss Patient was something.
Yeah, I watched
I
a.
do remember that.
I'm gonna Google it.
Some economist is like, if you want to be the first trillionaire, be the man that mines asteroids. It's incredibly lucrative if you can do it consistently. But the problem is doing it consistently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even getting the money to go up that far in the first place and to be able to get back requires something that's massive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, but
And trying to stop an asteroid? Like, how can you even think of doing
that's
Okay,
yeah.
this is already a thing. People are already trying to.
what.
that? You could
asteroid
just
mining?
break it up while it's
I think
flying nearby.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow, 2 trillion tons of water are available for life support and fuel in space. So I
Wait,
guess you can. I guess that this is like minerals from, whatever. I'm good.
Oh, so
What is he? How hot is Mars? Or is it like freezing? It's frigid, right?
it's colder.
It's like the
I don't-
planet outside of Earth from the.
Oh, I know where it is. I
So
just,
it'd be like slightly cool. It'd be like a few like a few degrees cooler than Earth.
Wow.
Few
yeah, that's what I
hundred,
wanted to see. Like how
No,
like
I
the
wouldn't say
distance
100.
between like the
It'd
distance
probably be
between
maybe
the
like 50 degrees colder.
how much temperature wise change does it have in between the two like planets? Like how the distance in between the two planets? How does that translate
Well, actually,
to
it
like
might be because like
hospital?
what's the closest one?
Hospital.
No, it is. It's a very big
Venus.
difference.
Yeah, Venus.
Yeah.
Venus is boiling.
Is
Venus
right
is
next to
really
it. Yeah,
hot.
Venus is like the hottest, and it's like, it's like boiling basically, and then Earth is like the perfect temperature, and then I'd assume that Mars is probably really cold. If the
I
difference
think.
between
Well, yeah,
Earth and
because they were saying there's like
Venus.
frozen.
Yeah, it's polar ice
and
caps.
Whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's 2 trillion tons of water available on near Earth asteroids,
Really?
and apparently near Earth means like actually like near, like it's like
Well,
this isn't like a really huge reach like for a lifetime, or it's probably after our lifetime.
2 trillion tons, you said?
Yeah, 2 trillion tons of water.
What does that translate to? Like what is that?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
quantify
yeah,
that.
you can't
Tons of water.
quantify a ton.
Very,
of-
very,
like,
very
just think
large
of.
amount. 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton, so imagine.
Does anyone know how many pounds of
2
water is in a
trillion
gallon?
tons.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think it's like 2.2.
I'm googling how many tons of water there are on
No, no,
Earth.
no.
How much?
Doesn't sound right.
There's definitely you can't quantify that.
Alright.
326 million trillion gallons.
Holy shit.
So we can't really quantify it. We don't know. Our brains can't comprehend something of that size.
Yeah.
It's still a lot. It might feed New York.
How do you even
for a day.
estimate that? How do you even get that estimate? The
It's like
how many
1.8
gallons of
pounds.
water
It's-
on the Earth?
It's kind of like how we.
Isn't
can
that like
estimate-
impossible?
It's how we estimate the composition of the atmosphere. You take like a certain area of it, then you see the percentages, and you just assume that that's.
No,
an
but
average.
like how do you estimate the amount of water on Earth at any given time? Because it's constantly fluctuating, and there's like so much.
No, there's a set amount of Earth.
Yeah,
on Mars.
it can't be
Set
fluctuating.
amount of Earth on Mars. Set amount of water on Earth.
No.
Water isn't created. Water's always gonna stay
Yeah.
there.
Oh, you're right.
There's a
Actually,
water
I
cycle.
kind of
Third
forgot about the whole
grade.
evaporation.
It's just
Third
different.
grade.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
The whole
about
water cycle, dude.
That. Yeah.
Oh my
Forgot
god.
about that boy.
Betty moment. Betty moment.
So I was reading that some person came up with an idea for a 3D printer kind of drone where it would take the iron and the rust on Mars's surface and then turn that into pure iron in order to make like a skeletal structure of a colony. Then when you land on Mars, you could just I don't know, like put a cover over that of some sorts, make a dome, and you already have all the fundamental buildings made.
I don't get
that
that.
sounds very
Okay.
difficult. And
3D printers. Everyone's always talking about
They're out
3D
there.
printers this, 3D printers that. Trey Dodge had a 3D printer in the 8th grade. It took
Yeah, it
him
was like a
24
bootleg. It was like a
hours
bootleg one.
to freaking make a spoon. Listen, I get it. It's not industrial grade. But this man, I sat there and stared at this spoon being created for 24 hours. And it was a spoon and it broke. We had to go eat cereal and it broke. The spoon broke. A 24-hour spoon that broke. I
There's
don't get the hype. All
there's
right,
a
I get that you
difference
have this
between
mammoth thing, but like, it's a really good. I mean,
There's a difference between a 3D printer that you get for like
Your
$100
kid.
when you're in 4th grade or whatever
Listen, I
to
know.
print a spoon, and a 3D printer that you're sending
Dude,
to
it's
Mars.
not the spoon. It's the friends you make along the way making the spoon. You know what I'm saying? But
course.
also,
That's the most poetic
do you
thing
see
I've
that
ever
there's
heard.
people actually making like working ARs
Yeah,
with
guns
like
with 3D
3D
printers.
printers? It's
Yeah.
insane.
that's dope.
They're
That's
making
epic.
working organs
Yeah, that's
with
dope.
3D printers.
Can't wait for some 6-year-old kid to find out he can download something online and use his dad's
That's
3D printer and get
so
on
dope,
AR. Yeah.
dude.
That's gonna
My
be
mom
good.
won't
just
let me buy
Bad Jones
GTA.
would fix that.
Mom. So I have to GTA real life.
Yep.
LOL.
GTA.
Would you guys go to Mars?
Would I go to Mars?
Oh yeah, the one-way ticket thing.
Yeah, the one-way ticket thing.
No.
Really?
No.
I don't think I could.
It depends.
Even have your name like in history forever.
as the
No.
guy who
As-
never
as part of,
see
like,
your
the
friends and
first
family
colony.
again.
That's like the choice you make. Like a lot of people would like die for the opportunity. Just to, like be like
No,
I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
whatever now.
It depends.
It's pretty hard for me to
it
move out
really
of New
does.
Jersey. It's hard to move out of Atlantic Highlands,
Lol.
let alone
Atlantic Highlands,
go to a different planet.
If I had to leave people behind, if I knew I wouldn't be missed, yeah, I'd go. If like my family is still there, then yeah, I'm staying. So I don't want to.
It'd be
Like,
very
have
difficult.
you ever seen The
I'd have
Martian?
to like.
So I actually haven't.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
it's a great
You need
movie.
to see
Although
that.
I've heard it's a great movie.
Very good.
I'd have to like bring somebody with me that I knew like I would never like cause you know like if you like stay with like a friend for too long you get annoyed of them.
Yeah.
Like I'd have
Yeah.
to go with someone.
Yeah, I do.
Aiden.
Podcast over. I hate all of you.
No, but like I'd have to like go with somebody that I
Oh,
knew
give me
that,
water. Can you give me water?
Yeah, me too, please.
that I knew that like I would never get sick of. Like I'd be able to like talk to them like forever. Cause like you were literally going there for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true.
I would
mean,
go there if I was 80.
I wonder how many people they're bringing to Mars. Like
well,
who?
no, you
How
couldn't
big's
go there if
the?
you were Aiden, because then you wouldn't be able to swim.
80.
Oh.
Or Aiden. I mean, Aiden doesn't have anything to lose.
I thought. How
Yeah,
many-
no. I'd go there if I was old, but I can go there now. I have a whole life
Yeah.
ahead of me.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
let you go there if you're old.
I know that's a problem.
Hmm.
Oh, speaking of, well, I mean, not speaking of,
Wait,
going back to the whole
No
commercialization
way.
of
2025? That sounds really early.
Yeah.
What is that?
The first
no,
crew
we're
for us?
to land on Mars.
Oh yeah.
It's just like how they had. There's a secret government project back in the '60s. It's called Project Orion, and it was literally just a last-ditch effort to get to space. They would take like a really
just
bulky.
just yoink a
No,
cardboard
actually,
box.
essentially just like that. They had a slingshot idea, but then they realized that was impossible, so they immediately moved to the next best thing, which is launch nuclear warheads
Of course.
periodically behind the rocket, so it would propel it into space.
Well, obviously.
You
Now,
know, with
wouldn't that release
six-
that EMP though?
It was
isn't that how
six
EMPs
nuclear-
work?
6 nuclear
Oh,
detonations
that's
in
so
midair.
sad.
Well, what happened?
It's like a rocket sled.
Mars One is not a serious project. They have no money. They're literally selling T-shirts and coffee mugs online and have managed to make a few tens of thousands of dollars, but they need about $1 trillion.
Yeah, yeah.
SpaceX is dramatically better funded. In a few years, we'll have the technology for a Mars rocket, but they cannot afford a Mars mission yet. In fact, recently SpaceX announced a mass layoff of 10% of their staff.
Bruh.
NASA estimated optimistically that a mission to Mars would cost $500 billion. NASA's budget last year was $17 billion, and most of it was for things not related to Mars.
Wow.
That's kind
That's
of upsetting.
unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah, so probably not gonna happen within the
Like,
next
how hype would that be?
20
Because
years.
like we weren't alive during the whole moon landing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that was like huge, like massive.
Imagine watching that live.
So like
That'd be crazy.
that'd be like how epic would it be if we got like our Mars landing during our lifetime? Like I want that to happen. That'd be awesome.
I mean,
I
I'm
think we'll
sure
get a
it
Mars
will.
landing.
It's
in our
gonna
lifetime.
happen.
I'm sure.
But it's not
it'll
gonna be
happen.
happening like when we graduate college.
Yeah. It'll-
Dude, if they're not even like able to fund like the beginnings of it, then it's gonna take a while.
It'll take it'll take like maybe I'd say within 70 years.
Well,
I'd say
no,
it's
scientists
realistically-
estimate that climate change will essentially end the world in like 2050.
That's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go. John
So we
Kokoza
bet-
finally gets his
Yeah.
apocalypse.
It's a darn shame it was made by the Chinese for the Chinese.
I want to see John Kokoza during Apocalypse. No offense, Sean, but I don't think he'd make it.
Isn't it John Green that likes apocalypses?
No,
No,
Coco.
John Kokoza always talks about going
Yeah.
like he wants to like do like an apocalypse.
Oh,
just
I want to
see,
do. I
like,
mean,
what would
listen.
happen.
If I could just have Mad Max for like a week, that'd be so.
I'm just
sick.
I'm
That'd
just
be so
imagining
sick.
like
That'd be so
uh,
scary. I'd be terrified. I'd like to say that I would make it, but I really don't think I would.
Just
I think I'd die
imagine,
within
I
the first
watched.
2 weeks.
John Koko's just normal, and like the apocalypse happens, and like next
Like,
frame,
yeah.
he's wearing like cow skulls on his shoulders. He has war paint and axe, and he's hacking away at Mr. Neil.
Yeah.
Speaking of climate change, though, I feel like. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I feel like we're gonna look back on these years and go like, damn, we're such idiots.
Well, of course, we already are
Yeah,
doing
we
that.
already are doing
Because
that.
like, dude,
That's
it's
literally every generation does that. everyone.
No, but this is this is something on a scale
this
that I
is-
don't think we've ever experienced.
Yeah, this is
ever.
dooming all future generations.
Yeah, like we sort of messed up.
That's not our doing
No,
though.
it's-
That's not our doing.
it's-
But it is
The
though.
boomers.
That's the
It's the
boomers.
boomers.
It's the
Entirely
it's
our
the U.S. and
It's
Chinese
the-
boomers, all right, and it's like
It's like
other
the
other
whole-
countries have like exhausted like so much of their resources.
No, but it's not like
just
Gen
to-
Z. It's not us. We're too young to influence that shit.
Oh,
that stuff.
you're absolutely right. It's the boomers.
Yeah.
Hashtag get rid of
Oh
boomers.
my god.
Literally just
Oh,
make
I-
them extinct.
I hate
Except for my
boomers.
grandma.
Oh my god, I hate
And
boomers.
grandmas,
I
I
hate
love
boomers
that.
so much.
Hashtag
everyone else
ban
thinking-
boomers.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
But it's gonna be crazy because we're gonna be living through that. We're the generation that's gonna feel the effects because
Yeah.
it's like 2050. That's
Mhm.
100% during our lifetime, unless
Provided everything goes
shit.
well.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I agree. I was gonna say something but I forgot.
All right, should we move on to the next thing? I haven't. It
Shoot.
literally just popped into my head. What do you guys think of that whole Area 51?
Oh, I want to do it.
I was literally,
I wanna
just
do
about,
it.
I was just about to talk about that.
Mm.
Literally, like 7 neckbeards gonna show up.
Yeah, like 20,
Yeah? What's
24
up?
boomers who took
One
the
of
joke
7.
too far are gonna show and be like, haha, hey guys, look, we're gonna storm Area 51.
The thing
But
was,
they don't even realize that the first gate to Area 51 is 15 miles to the next one.
They are gonna get shot, right? They're gonna get shot.
If they trespass on that
Yeah.
government property, they are going to die.
well, the whole idea was that if they all go, if like 10,000 of them show up, they can't kill them all, which is actually kind of reasonable
It'd be like
because they wouldn't.
Tiananmen Square, the thing that never happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna
are
say
you
that
talking
that's
about?
gonna like turn into like another.
was it?
No,
Yeah.
it's they're just
Never
gonna close the gates and then they won't be able to get in. That's it. That's it. It's gonna be really
They're
annoying.
gonna like.
They're like World
I
War
feel
C.
like
that
it'd be
shit, they
like
climb on each other.
I feel like it'd be like they'd like shoot them with like
Bags.
the bags.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
knock them out or like just like shoot them with bags and stuff or
I
like
think they'll
hose
just
them
wait.
until they run
Maybe
away.
they use alien technology
no,
to
I
kill them all. And never
It also
speak to them.
depends on how much people show up or how many people show up.
I think they'll just wait.
I hope people show up
What
because
is it?
it could be
September
really
20th.
It's
something
they're
like
running in Nevada.
Yeah, they're
15
all gonna-
miles
they're-
in Nevada in the
Well,
middle
drive,
of nowhere.
right?
Well, no,
Yeah.
because there's the first gate and then there's 15 miles of nothingness and then the actual complex.
Yeah.
So why don't they just
can't
take
act-
cars?
Because
can't
you
get a
can't get
car
the
in
car
there?
through the gate.
Oh no way.
How
And
would
then
you
they'll
a
get
car to the
lost,
gate?
and
That's
then
like it's one of the most.
people
it's
will be
one of the most
wandering.
regarded places
They'll be
in-
there's no cell data in there. They'll be wandering and they'll be dying of heat stroke and
Epic.
dehydration.
I
Do you think
agree.
this is
What
like?
do you
Do
actually
you
think
think
is
this is
in
even like
Area
close to a
51?
legitimate concern for the Area
Absolutely
51
not.
staff?
Not
It's,
even
it's
that.
like fat, sweaty neckbeards against the armed forces. They're not going to do anything.
Some of those flat, sweaty
I
neckbeards.
wanna
They'll
hear
be
ferocious.
stopped by a steady
I
incline.
want to hear like serious like what do you guys actually think's in Area 51?
Yeah,
What do
I
I
think they have
think?
alien stuff there for sure.
Alien, some hot alien females.
That's a good question.
I think they do.
If you guys,
I think it's just like
If we-
Yeah.
just like a
No,
Area 51 just a bang
just
sanctum for
before-
Martians.
before I
There-
ask this, should I just stop the PG for just a little bit for this discussion?
No,
or-
no,
okay,
no,
good.
no, no,
Alright.
no, no.
Alright.
Tubby
Cringe
Moon
cats,
5,
you
welcome.
know it, Tubby
College
Moon.
moment. College moment.
But they tried paying off a family who had property on Area 51. It's like they were living there or whatever. It was like just on the premises. And
Just to put
they
90K
tried buying their
people.
property for like $9 million, and they still didn't want to give it up. And the government's like trying to give them like a boatload of money to
Dude, that's
give
it,
up their
9
property.
million. If I had property on Area 51, I'd ask.
I
for,
know, right? Like, that's not that
I'd
much
ask for
money.
So much.
Considering what the
I
government
could
has.
That's
get a
incredibly
house
lucky.
in Malibu.
Literally, if that house is like outside of Area 51, it's worth like 10 cents. It's in the middle of the Nevada desert. That is incredible.
It's
Yeah.
just I just want to see it. I'm thinking
But
like
I feel like I think it's like a
March of
like
the
a secret
Valkyries.
agent like training facility kind of thing, like a secret.
think so.
like,
No,
I just think it's a
secret-
normal
They
government
say-
facility.
They say it's
That's why.
they test like bombs and stuff and like fighter jets and stuff.
Well, that makes
That's in
sense
New
because it's
Mexico.
in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
If there's 15 miles or 15 miles of nothingness. They could.
No,
test
that's
all
what the
that
government
stuff.
says. It's like a weapons testing
Mhm.
facility where like
Oh, just an accidental weapons test of a nuclear warhead. Just
no, well, they obviously don't
they
test
literally,
nukes.
they literally
but-
did that once in Bikini Atoll, where they had to like, okay, so the United States government was testing nuclear warheads in the Cold War and out in the Pacific, and they didn't take into account some of the way the winds were blowing at the time, and literally just like a
Bruh.
immense amount of radiation just fell on this island of like 4,000 people, and
Oof.
like half of them died of cancer,
Bro,
and the other half had to be
very
evacuated.
epic.
But when was
Crazy.
this?
that's
It was probably a long time ago because I think
Cold
they're
War.
more.
Oh no, they're smarter now. 'Cause
Yeah.
this was like in the very like advent of like nuclear testing and stuff like that, so they didn't take into account the repercussions it would have on like these poor Pacific Islanders who are in U.S. territories. Because if they weren't, they'd be screwed. Imagine if those territories were owned by any other country, World War III. It's
Yeah.
like such a bruh
For
moment.
sure. Yeah.
Do you guys think there will be any more major wars like World War II because of nuclear technology?
Not
It's
major.
either-
I don't think so.
I
Oh.
think it's either gonna be one and then the world's over, or just nothing.
I watched a crazy TED talk on what is the actual power of nuclear weapons, right? Like what could cause a nuclear winter. Pakistan and India both have nuclear weapons and are currently like major beef with each other.
Yep.
The two smallest of the
Major
nuclear
beef, India.
Ha!
Oh my God.
They're the two smallest of the nuclear powers, and if they
Console
had a
wars.
war and sent nukes at each other, right?
Yeah.
The entire Earth would actually go into a nuclear winter, like worse than the Ice Age, and we actually all die. So the two smallest powers, if India and Pakistan, if their military advisors, like advise them to send that nuke, then essentially the entire world would feel the effects of it. Isn't that crazy?
That's
So
unfortunate.
even if Russia and America got like we have like 10,000 nukes each, even if we don't do anything, Pakistan and India
Yeah.
could just
Well,
like
there's that whole
go to war.
there's that whole thing like the total annihilation. I forget it's like the rule.
Mutually
So,
assured destruction.
Yeah, mutually assured
Yeah.
destruction.
so if someone launches a nuclear weapon, they know that everyone else who
Everyone-
has nuclear
everyone else
weapons is
dies.
going to
Mhm.
send nuclear
And
weapons
it
at that place. And Mr. Cappy Snappy in chat said console wars. Just imagine just a field of katana wielding, fedora wearing neckbeards with their PCs slugged over their shoulders. It's like battle maces crushing their foes like a thwomp to Mario.
I mean, Xbox released a new console. PlayStation.
How big do you think this is? Realistically, how many people are showing this Area 51?
Like I'd
Oh, a
say
lot.
realistically.
Because everyone's curious about it.
realistically, like
A
1,000.
thousand. Yeah.
No, I think way
Yeah.
more. 100%.
1,000.
No,
This,
more
this
than
has gone
1,000.
so viral. I promise you, at least 10,000.
Yeah, but
People who signed a
sensitive
petition
memes
to
on
say-
Instagram with 400 followers isn't actually gonna pull up to Area 51.
Didn't they
Yeah.
get 500,000 like pledges or whatever before it became a meme?
They got
Doesn't
over
mean
10,000
anything. That
pledges
doesn't
to
mean
change
anything.
purple to Thanos color when the war was still going on. Did
I know,
they do it? No.
I still support that.
I think there's so
TFT.
many people that
half
are.
half the signing or people who sign are probably like 10-year-old kids just like doing it with their friends trying
Mhm.
to
No.
act cool.
You have to think about like the Alex Jones like schizophrenics that are like ready to do
Oh,
anything.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Infowars,
Yeah.
Infowars coverage of the Area 51 storming. That is gonna be so heck.
It's like
That's
those
gonna be the
war-
funniest thing
It's
that
gonna be
comes
like
out of
those
this.
war reporters back in World War II.
Literally, they could discover an alien, and I would not care any less. I just want to watch Alex Jones outside the gates of Area 51
Pacing
interviewing
through the desert and he's like sweating.
sweating
back here,
buckets,
coward.
interviewing other neck-bearded, starting.
They're the ones that are turning the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah.
It's like the whole
This is
video,
the
like,
frog turn. This is the
if you're
gay
in the
frog
city, he's like,
facility.
Come back here, you coward! He runs across the street.
I like to eat children.
I hate you. I have a question. How did Area 51 reach this level of infamy? Why doesn't Area 52 have this same level of?
Because it's so secretive. Like you can't even. You can't see it on
Area
Google
51's
Maps.
just
What
like
happened to
it's just a
50 other
ploy.
areas?
On Google Maps, it's literally just a tarp laid out and just like a government facility painted on it. There's no actual Area 51. It's all fake. And Area 52 is below that tarp.
Bruh.
I'm telling you.
No, but how did it initially happen? Like, when did this Area 50, when did Area 51 become
Area
Search it
51.
up.
Area 51? Like, when did
I
that
don't know.
happen? Because like what, and also what sparked it? Was it like a gradual thing, or was someone like, "Yo, there's an alien in there"? So I was like, "Yeah, we should
U.S.
look
Air Force warns over Facebook event.
Wait,
And there are the air raid sirens, ladies and gentlemen. The world is
Thousands
ending.
of
How
contacts were
convenient
actually
while we were
in
talking
Area
on
about it.
top,
51.
they must have tuned in.
The Air Force is ready to protect America and its assets. They're gonna shoot those guys down.
Yeah, you know some of those female aliens
That's
definitely have those
That's
assets.
America's assets.
Area 51 is an open training range for the U.S. Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come to the area where we train American armed forces.
Told you.
So what exactly is Area 51?
But it says the Area 51 military base is restricted, meaning limited information is available what goes on there.
Is the amount of oh my god, sorry about the voice. Is the amount of staff disclosed? Like how many people work?
No,
in
they
Area
don't
51?
disclose anything.
Nothing.
It's really that's why people immediately
Who
point
like
out
works
it's
there?
the
Like
most.
how do you become like how do you work?
Yeah,
at Area
that's
51?
Exactly, that's what you get.
That's
I
what
wanna
want
figure that out.
I want to see that.
How high ranking
I
do you have
wanna,
to
like-
be?
Obama. You have to be Obama. in order
Some
to get
janitor pulls you into a closet and he's just like, all right, meet me meet me at these coordinates.
It's
You're-
just
you're
Obama
been
in a
recruited.
wig. You are in Area 51.
it. Just like that white wig that Danny DeVito wears. Just Obama wearing that thing.
Yeah,
But
no,
Bill Clinton did
Iconic.
say that as soon as he became president, he immediately searched the Area 51 files to see if it was actually like a UFO thing. And then when they asked him, he's like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's like a mem, but you know.
like I feel like if there was either if there's something that notable, it would have gotten out. You'd think.
Mm,
You underestimate the
No.
ability for the government to control information.
mhm.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, especially if there's like a significant amount, like even 50 people. You can't get, if there's sensitive information and if 50 people know about it, it's gonna.
Well, they're
get out.
probably super
Well,
careful who they hire
yeah,
for something
It's
like
like
that.
the
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
who
I
are
know,
the
but,
most
like,
devoted
still.
people they could possibly be.
You'd have.
I still
yeah.
think if there's something that's shocking, that would have gotten out.
They
I don't care
probably,
how
like-
devoted people are.
They definitely like do this like whole thing like where like they like send somebody in, and then like they like kidnap him and like the guy doesn't know that it's like the U.S. government kidnapping him, and then they torture him, and if he doesn't tell them they let him go back, but if he does then they like put him in jail or something.
Yeah, that's a great way to get
Wait,
people's
how do they
trust.
get in and out of work? Did you ever think about that?
They don't. They probably sleep there. They probably like
What- yeah,
live there.
no,
It's a military in Canada.
No one's driving in and out,
They probably
right?
live there.
So like if you're a scientist and you work there, let's say, right? You're not coming out to like go live with your family. They keep you in there.
Well, you don't have. You
I don't think
definitely.
you
If
have
you work there,
family.
you definitely don't have a family.
Yeah, because that was literally.
Because
that was literally my-
so sketchy.
That's
If
what I
you
was, that's what I
tell
was
your
about to say. Like,
family-
if you go home and like tell a wife, "Yeah, I had to work on the Martian today," like, and now that's out there.
Yeah,
Doing open heart surgery in this Martian.
Yeah. Isn't that the worst? So yeah, that's my thing. Like, if
Think
you
it was
work there,
hard.
I don't think you leave, and I don't think you have a wife or kids or family.
Bruh.
Well, yeah,
That's
you need to be
cool.
as devoted as you can be. If there
Because
are
then you have,
aliens.
because then the United States has loose ends, and
Mhm.
the United States doesn't like
You
loose
guys
ends.
keep talking. Do some research.
Do we believe in aliens here?
Absolutely.
Oh, didn't we have this
Uzai-
before?
Uzai-
Interdimensional. They're not interdimensional. They're not like what we think. They're interdimensional. And the only way you can contact them is through
Okay,
taking
never mind.
hardcore drugs with other groups of people in order to reach the spirits.
Dude, that's why they made drugs legal, because it allows you to access the.
That's
other
why I-
dimensions.
That's why I can't smoke my entire
No, but
collection of pot
that
in
is
one sitting.
that is Alex Jones's theory.
Oh, well,
Really?
Al-
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the
Unironically.
most
No,
reputable
seriously,
source
I'm
on
serious.
the internet.
He says if you take like DMT, right? You have these visions where you actually speak with interdimensional aliens. No. And apparently we've been in contact with them. For example, like the Nazis were in contact with them, and that's why they had advanced technology.
Hitler's just.
No,
it's just boring all of these.
I know.
talking aliens.
It gets better. It gets better.
Psycho just like on his mustache just to brush it off. It's like Cthulhu.
No,
But like, if you think
I do not believe that. I'm sorry. I usually give some theories credit, but no.
If you think about it, like literally
Why is
any like even the smallest organism, like one microbacteria that's out in space is considered an alien.
Yeah.
Any living
So there's
organism
definitely
outside
some
no,
of
of-
we
that.
already
of
found
the
we already
universe.
found a fossil of a bacteria.
But
on
when people
Mars.
say alien, I think they mean like an actual like conscious.
Sentient
like,
Yeah,
being.
animal.
yeah, obviously. But like any, not one, like not even a microorganism that lives like somewhere in like God knows where.
well,
you don't
of
believe
course,
that?
the universe is theoretically infinite. So
Yeah.
Do you believe?
Yeah.
Do you believe that there is like, okay, in our galaxy? Do you think there's other intelligent beings?
No,
I can't say for certain. I would say
No.
probably.
I'd say no.
You think there's
Oh,
other
intelligent.
Do you have
think
any
there's
idea
other-
how many
Yeah,
planets
that's
we
why I'm
found?
asking. It's so vast. Like
I
people
think so. I think it's
people think it's.
I would
it's-
say that if
make it seem small, but in reality, there's like so many.
If this could happen, it could definitely happen.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
here,
It's
let
like-
me.
That's
figure
all I'm
this
gonna
out.
say. Like,
if
We are ready to raid Area 51. We got our chug jugs. We got our golden scars. We are more than prepared.
oh yeah, for sure.
if we I feel like if there were more intelligent beings in our galaxy, we would have found them by now, or they would have contacted
No.
us by
I al-
now.
We haven't seen anything though, and you don't know how far they are. Maybe they're so far they don't even know where you're either.
Exactly.
Like it could just be
Mm,
because it's so big.
Well,
Space
like,
is so
It
vast.
takes
Like
so
we.
long for light to travel. If aliens are looking at us, they probably just see a molten ball of rock. They're not
well, that's
able
all
to
we
see
see.
us.
That's all we'd see, I guess, if we looked out.
Oh yeah, that's true. All these
Yeah.
planets that we've seen with all
See,
this water.
there's something
Just
something
having
called
brown
But you know
mountains.
what's like
Drake
super
equation.
like trippy? I
think
was
Jupiter
I
or
told
something.
Uzai this and Dylan this, but like you know like when you look at like a star, right?
Yeah.
Because light travels so slowly,
yeah, this is epic.
you
This is
see
epic.
that star like billions of years ago. So that star
Yeah,
like
that's nuts.
today doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist. Most
right?
stars
so
in
you're
the sky
like
don't exist.
seeing the past
You're
basically
seeing
by
ancient
looking at
light.
that.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
But
nuts.
seeing that
there
star-
is
star.
there's this thing called the Drake equation, which is an argument used to estimate the number of I'm reading this from Wikipedia.
Equations from the six.
Yeah, it's used to estimate the number of active communicative extraterrestrial civilizations, so us, in the Milky Way galaxy. It's essentially saying that it's the probability of there being stars times the probability of something in a hospitable zone around the star. There's water, there's life, that life is intelligent and it can communicate. All those chances are non-zero, as we know, because we exist.
Mhm.
So therefore, the chances for all other organisms alive to be as smart as us, and that's such a weird phrase anyway. Ugh, I'm so bad with my words recently. I haven't slept in like 24 hours.
Feel that.
Well,
I feel that.
Yeah, so essentially, if we can happen, it can happen again.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
My
again,
thing
and
is,
again,
like,
and again.
Who say that aliens like? Yeah, never mind. That was a really
No, say
dumb
it,
thing
say
I
it,
was
say
gonna
it,
say.
say it, say it.
Like, who say that aliens need water? Like, who's like we don't we
No, absolutely. Yeah.
like we assume they need water because that's all we've ever been exposed to. Like, what if we? There's just things we don't know.
It's just a
like,
basis.
what if they could thrive on a gas giant? Like,
It's
what
just
if?
a basis to life, like how carbon is the basis to life. There's a theory that silicon can do the same thing, and it can. We already have some of that on life.
Oh, do tell.
What happens if like they're like you go like there are other planets and they have like a completely different element base? Like there is no hydrogen or there is no carbon or there is no
Well,
whatever on those other planets.
That's probably impossible.
despite what it may seem, there is a finite amount of compounds that we can make.
Mhm.
And so there's only some certain ways that organisms can evolve to be the most, I guess, efficient on their planet. So I mean, it will look vastly different, but it would be very likely it has the same basis as us.
Interesting.
But you need carbon though, right? Like
You don't need
Well, we
carbon.
need
You need carbon or silicon because
Uh-huh.
those are the only things that can have.
So you need one of the, it's
four bonds.
impossible to because they have to be able to like
Mhm.
bond it
Yeah.
together. Makes sense.
Very interesting.
Interesting. Interesting
Very
stuff.
interesting.
Space is something fun to talk about.
It's
It
a
is.
big old
We
thing.
do talk about that
It's,
a
yeah,
lot,
it's
don't
pretty
we?
big. It's pretty big.
Big old-
I'm pretty big. Jason, come with Jason.
All
Give me
roads
more water.
lead back
All
to
big.
space.
All right. So before we go to our next segment, I think that Mr. Dylan A. and Madison would like some help with scratches and dents on their car.
Bruh.
That is a bruh moment. Recently, those two people have brud their cars.
What?
Yes.
Do we know what Dylan was doing when how he scratched his car? What were you doing, Dylan?
He was
Tell us.
okay.
Let us know.
I can give you the
Looked like a
rundown.
truck, I think.
Yeah.
Try to squeeze in.
Yeah, he basically
Bruh.
tried to squeeze into a truck, scraped the bumper, and got nervous and drove away.
No.
Oh, I probably should be saying that on here, but hey, well, arrest him.
Dude, that- oh
Here's
my
what I
God,
think.
yeah,
I
it's
think you should do
absolutely-
your best to
Definitely.
take the scratch on that one side of the car and mirror image it on the other side of the car. Make
yeah,
it an
no,
artistic
turn it into
flair.
a racing stripe
Yeah,
on your
make
on
it
your
an
on your
artistic
2005
flair.
Actually, there's a way
Jeep
to, like, get
Commander.
it
If someone
out.
keys your car, alright, gotta
Is
go
there
on
a
the
way?
other side.
Is there a way to get it out? Because
No,
I know.
need to take that to an auto body shop.
I guess yeah. I know for dents you can pour
You gotta buy the
boiling
parts,
water on
right?
it and then take a
Yeah,
plunger, and pull
yeah.
it.
Okay, let's look this up.
That's
for you.
probably
Wait,
the
he
most-
lost
How
like
to
part of it
get
came off, so he probably is gonna have to
Yeah,
buy
he's
the
gotta
parts
cut off.
too.
Get
You gotta
Right.
cut off the other
Part,
part.
part of his car came off. Dead ass.
Yeah, like the underside of his mirror.
Oh.
So they probably have to like buy the part, which actually costs like way more than you'd think, because they
Yeah,
have to buy like
no,
the factory. price.
Mirrors are not that expensive.
some
Oh,
LED
no,
lights
shit,
over
I
it.
meant lights. I got a light.
Do they don't still produce that car, do they? Jeep Commander. That's what it's called.
Probably,
Right?
but not that model. Like that's the
Yeah.
that's when it gets like a.
I don't know.
On
At least they're made
a
domestically. Parts
car.
aren't really expensive. I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't Madison like get into a 3-car
Apparently,
crash?
toothpaste.
car wreck?
Dylan.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Yes.
Rub toothpaste on your car and it'll get rid of the scratch.
I think if it's a
With
white
just
car.
Me taking a whole tube
Bruh.
of Colgate, squeezing
No,
it
it
out.
says use it on all of them. Plunger for dents. I guess I still haven't done that in my car yet.
As I am a good
Is there a way to
driver.
get off tire marks? I need to get those off.
Is there a
you
way
could
to
just,
fix a dead ass
just-
just hole in the back of your bumper?
Is there a way to
John
fix
Greenlow.
a missing engine?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a
John-
way to get rid of
My
Is
car
John
is
still,
cleaved in
uh,
half. Is there? Can you like duct tape that back together? Gorilla glue.
Flex tape.
Yeah.
Flex tape
Funny
that shit.
story.
it. Toothpaste doesn't work, says Kai.
You know how
Interesting. That's what's
You know how-
online. I don't know.
Crazy Glue, on the box of Crazy Glue, they have a car dangling on a crane, and my assumption was that, oh, that car is held on by Crazy Glue, so therefore this is true. If I go get Crazy Glue and I hit Crazy Glue just the slightest bit of a drop onto a crane, it's just gonna stay there. So for a good little while, I thought that Crazy Glue was just magical adhesive that could just
Was
hold
the
anything
ultimate
together.
adhesive.
Yeah,
Is John's car still like messed up?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's covered by insurance. He just
Lazy.
doesn't do it. Yeah, he just doesn't get
Why,
it.
John?
It's,
Do you guys have
it's such
any-
a beautiful car too. It's
I know,
so
it is.
nice.
Do you guys have any crazy like driving stories, like close calls or anything like that?
I already told my one close call.
What was it?
I almost crashed into a Panera.
What?
Were
I
you-
don't remember that. Was that on here?
That was the
This is
embarrassing stories
hilarious.
one.
That was so funny.
Oh, this is a Keckington of a story. So my mother and I, love her dearly, pull up to Panera Bread in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. After
Great
school.
local restaurant.
Yeah, of course. It's really beautiful, really atmospheric. You should go there sometime.
All the old people above like 65.
Yeah, so we get there. There's probably like some freshmen, sophomores, not Randy, but
Ooh.
and yeah, exactly. In the parking lot of all places, making TikToks.
I have
no, really?
Yeah.
That's
And-
what you go for
And,
first off.
and so my mom and I are just relentlessly making fun of these people.
Of
And-
course.
Okay,
of course, as you
yeah.
because we're sitting on the window and like, look at these absolute buffoons, absolute buffoonery going on here.
And then you run straight at him.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. So I bore down my food, and we get ready to leave. I get my cookie, get ready to leave, and obviously I'm the big man. You know, I got that GDL learner's permit. I hop in the Volkswagen Touareg, pull out, and at this point they have moved from the parking lot into like the outdoor patio seating area where they're eating, and they're like on the corner. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna have just the B'est of DE, the BDE.
The biggest of
And
Wait, they were still there?
yeah, they've been there for a long time.
Still making TikToks. They just
No.
sat there.
They were making TikToks, and eventually they went and got food and sat down.
Okay.
So I pull up. I'm turning left to go to turn back into the main road, and no. I'm like in the Panera
Okay.
parking lot. So I turn left, and I look over, because on the corner I give him the 1950s Elvis.
No, you did not.
Elvis Presley finger gun.
The
No,
thing
you
I-
did
And then
I still do
at
that.
this point, I'm turning, and my car is just slowly moving into the Panera. And they're at first they're like laughing, they're like into it. I'm like, oh yeah, you add me on Snap, you know, Ethan 1146P, and then my car just wasn't going back to the road. And my mom's like, Ethan. I'm like, yeah. She goes, watch out, you're gonna crash the Panera. And then they start screaming because I'm about to crash in the Panera. And then I
Car bomb
yoink the
moment.
car around, and mom's like, what the hell was that? Were you pointing at that? I was like, no, 2 hands on the wheel. Had everything under control. Literally don't
Wait,
even worry about it.
That's like the cringiest. Like, why?
Oh,
even
I
give
know.
them, like
I have
big
literally,
guns?
I have no idea what got into me. I hated them.
Yo,
for-
let me real quick impress these like 9-year-olds
I
making
know.
TikToks real quick. Hey, look at me, big boys
I
driving.
know, I was like, I had just the biggest of DE in that moment, and then it's all sapped up, and then went back to this teeny peeny committee after that. It was
I'm
so.
like saying what's cooking, good looking, and immediately regretting it. And for thinking
I said that
for next.
unironically.
My closest of calls while
I always go
driving
like that. I can't
was
snap, but you know.
on the highway. Right, so I'm terrified of driving behind.
Was I in the car for this?
No.
When you tried merging on the highway?
No. That was like
That was every day. That happens every day.
No,
Um,
at the beginning he was bad.
Yeah, no, I was good, but I learned. Anyways, so I hate driving next to 18-wheelers, like, cause their blind spots are the worst,
Yeah.
right? So I'm always like scared of them like merging into me, right?
Of course.
So I'm driving by, I'm like just chilling, you know, windows down, just playing my music.
Windows down the highway.
Oh yeah, I was in a mood. I was in a schmood that day.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I see this guy starting to. I'm like, driving next to this huge ass truck. He's starting to nudge over. I'm like, all right, let me just speed up a little bit. Let me get by
Speed
him.
up.
Then all of a sudden, I'm right next to his wheels, and I see the guy. He can't see me yet, so I see the guy, and he's starting to turn his thing, and his wheels like literally come inches from mine. I'm like, holy shit. So I lay on my horn. The guy like skirts over, big 18-wheeler, like doing all these weird maneuvers, and I thought he was gonna kill somebody. Luckily, there was like nobody really around. There was only a few cars, but a few lanes over, and
That's terrifying.
That's
I was like, my wheels and his wheels almost hit, and I would have been gone.
Wow.
That was-
Will is gone.
that was-
My
that
closest
was
is
one
probably
of the-
with you in my car. Remember we were
Yeah.
driving?
Yep.
Remember
And
We were
that?
coming to one of these.
Yeah, we were
podcasts,
coming
right?
to the podcast, and some guy, he must have been on his phone. He had to be. Oncoming car just went entirely in my lane.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm just like, this guy's definitely like gonna see me, right? I don't know why I didn't honk the horn, but he eventually realized that he was like literally, we were like, it was like a 45 mile per hour like, each way.
Yeah.
So that would have been bad. That was about all I had. That and you hitting me.
Oh, that was
Remember
a good time.
Remember that time that our leader, Mr. Kokoza, started driving with his feet?
Oh,
That was terrible. Were you in the car for that? You were, right?
Now,
no,
he's
no.
banned that,
But John-
that conversation, but he's not here, so you can't stop us.
Oh, in fact, yeah,
No,
we
he is the worst driver.
have to call the
He
police.
is-
We have to
he
get that
is-
license
he's
revoked. He's
the-
gonna kill someone.
He's so bad.
He remember? Were you there when he ran that red light like insanely
Yeah,
badly?
yeah, yeah.
So he did. He was behind.
His parents watched this.
That's right.
John
He
Ross.
he was behind.
You're watching, alright?
He was behind
Now,
someone
so
who's
are
making a
four
left
people.
turn, and he just assumed. It's like the yellow light went yellow, right?
Yeah.
And the guy in front of him made a left, and John just assumed that like, oh, I got time, so he just went.
Yeah,
Of course.
I got
It
time.
turns out that car is like a little bit too long in front of him, and that car actually like missed the red, and John didn't even think to look at the light and just went. And then
No,
and
the
then-
worst part was he waited a second before he followed the guy.
and then he just farted. And then I look back at John, I'm like, did you just? He almost got like T-bones. And then we were just laughing because like I called him up and I'm like, John, did you just run that? You know you just ran that red light like insanely badly, right? And he's like, oh, I didn't even see the light, dude.
That's awful. How did he get his license?
Not sure.
How did you
He
get
parked,
your license?
'cause
you can
Watching
parallel
this.
park.
You'll be watching
Yeah,
this.
that's
how you get
literally
license in this
all you do.
country.
Or and stop and
And
stop
stop signs. They're my worst enemy. Red.
Have you gotten it yet?
No, I failed.
Oh
When you
my
get it? You get
God.
this Friday, right?
Yes,
Hopefully,
sir,
fingers
this
crossed.
Friday.
Yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so nervous. I got in my own head and
No,
couldn't do it.
That's what I was scared about.
It
That's
was yeah. You get in
My
your own
leg
head,
was
but
shaking. Like my
I
left
had-
leg was
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
so
pedals. Mine was like
I didn't
literally.
sleep the night before because I was so nervous because I wanted it so badly.
I
It
know.
always
I put
depends
too much
on who
pressure
you
on
get.
myself.
So I had this
I had a
short guy.
It was so scary. He's so terrifying.
Short guy with the beard.
Yes,
At
dude,
Eatontown?
terrifying.
He's
at Eatontown.
I had
Dude,
him.
I was
had
so
him
happy.
first time
The
I
tall
took it.
guy's nice.
Yeah, the tall guys go.
I
No,
prayed
he's
the tall guy.
terrifying, right?
get
But
the-
he's
I get the woman.
super chill.
No, he's not.
That guy was super
No, he's
chill.
not. What do you mean?
He was super chill for me. Did you go with
5'7"
Bob?
gang. 5'7"
What?
gang.
Did you go with the guy? Did you go with the driver instructor?
Mr. Bob.
No. No,
Okay.
I went with my mom.
Bob
You
retired.
go with
rest
the
in
driving.
peace.
Oh.
I was about to plug just right.
You gotta go with the instructor, right? The guy, it's like impossible to fail with the instructor. I feel like,
No, it's not.
I've heard stories where like people like literally run through stop signs and they pass because the instructor
okay.
guy's there.
All I had to do was parallel park K-turn, then I was done.
I didn't even parallel park. I didn't finish my parallel park. I was halfway in. The guy's like, all right, just make your pull out, go around, and then you're good.
My woman made the entire thing. I think it's good. Mine was on Christmas Eve, so everyone was like feeling good. And I was like, oh, lit. Let's just get the lit.
He's lit.
That'd be a garbage.
No, but the
Christmas if you
short
failed.
guy with the beard and covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
He's got the hat.
Yeah.
Dude, he's my man.
Terrifying.
As
He's
cringe as
my
it may
man.
sound, dude,
I have an irrational hatred of him now because he failed me.
dude, I actually
He is
cried when I got my license, though, dude. I was
Nah.
so happy. It was the best feeling in the world.
No, if I pass, I'm gonna go bananas.
I wasn't
Like,
able
oh my
to
God,
drive.
dude.
I
It
couldn't
was like the
drive
best
for a
day of my
while.
life.
I couldn't drive for a while with my license because I didn't know how to drive stick, and my mom didn't always let me drive her car.
Fat L.
So
I went straight to Chipotle. It was the first thing I did. And I played Yes Indeed by Lil Baby.
Yeah, I remember you saying that in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Was,
I'll never forget.
one thing I remember about driving with Bob was he was obsessed with Taco Bell.
Huh.
He's
What?
like,
We talked about guitars.
He always
That's
talked about Taco Bell. He was like, so where do you want to go? Like, so you know how on one of the days he let you drive by
Oh,
yourself?
yeah.
Basically, he's like, just some ideas. We can go to Taco Bell. We can go to like
Taco
The other
Bell.
Taco Bell.
I know this really good one.
Really good
There's
Mexican place.
yeah.
Not many people know about it. It's called Taco Bell.
and he always said it with like the weirdest voice. He'd be like, Taco Bell. You want to go to Taco Bell? I'm like,
Is he a white guy?
yeah, Bob. You know Bob.
Bob.
I don't know
Mr. Bob.
Oh, you didn't
Oh,
take
class?
class?
No.
Oh,
He was he was
Him?
like an
You
old
didn't
guy
know?
with white hair,
The God?
he hated me.
kind of chubby,
It's a bit of a moment.
glasses. He's a good guy.
The first day we
Well,
let,
he hated you
he
because
hated-
you didn't pay attention.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, dude,
nobody paid attention.
dude,
but
Mario
like,
Kart in the back was
that
lit,
was
though.
lit, dude.
No,
that was
but
lit.
the first day I drove with him, I was going like 5 over, like the entire time, and he was just like waiting for me to not go 5 over. And he's like, "You've been speeding this entire time," and I'm like, "Oh, I thought I was doing it right." And he just yelled at me, and then I had to go. I had to go
Cool.
15 under for the rest of the day. It's like, now we're good. Now we're good.
He was really annoying about the speed. I'd like literally like, you'd go like a mile over the speed limit, you'd be like, slow down.
He's like, "You're getting too close to speed limit there, buddy. It's called limit for a reason."
That's a bro.
Mr. Bob.
Everyone's like impatiently behind me. Okay.
Yeah, I always felt so bad when I was driving with my instructor. I had a different guy because Mr. Bob was the scourge of my existence. I never wanted to see
did you go
his
through
glasses.
He goes
or-
like Mr. Bob.
Mr. Bob.
Oh,
Did you
I
go
love
No,
through
he
that.
doesn't say that. He doesn't say. He just says
I went through Red Bank driving school.
Did you get a guy named Jim by any chance?
Is that the guy with the Camaro?
Wait, did you get the woman?
Yes, I got the woman. Yes, I got Jim. Yes, I got the Camaro.
Wait, you
were in
got
the
Jim?
Camaro?
You got a woman named Jim that drives a Camaro? That's based in Redfield.
I actually.
I got a
forgot
woman that
his
drives a
name.
Hyundai.
Wait, was he like? Did he have like a beard? He was like kind of
The
sketchy.
woman named Jim the Red.
No, he's like
Like
this.
just kind of
he
sounded
was
like a
this,
pothead.
No, he's
Or
this
looked
nice
like a pothead.
dude. This nice
Well,
old
there's this
guy.
one
He's a
guy
boomer.
that
Fucking
drives
eliminate him.
through
Exterminate.
Bye-bye.
that drives like the RFH kids, and his name's Jim, right? He's the middle school gym teacher, ironically.
Huh.
right?
Oh, that's funny.
He's like the biggest stoner. He's got like this huge, like nice, like gray beard, wears sweats all the time. He could just be like an average gym teacher, but like if he wasn't a gym teacher,
Coach
he'd, like,
Henry.
he'd be like
Remember
the
Coach Henry?
definition of a stoner. He's a really cool dude, though. Really cool.
You got him?
Love him. Nah, I didn't have him. I had Bob.
I had.
I always see the driving school Camaro though. Like, on the way.
Yeah, it's a
like,
red Camaro or something.
Wait, there's a
So
driving.
There's a
cool.
red Camaro?
Yeah, red Camaro driving school.
Imagine
It
driving
really pops
that.
out.
Imagine trying to drive that. Like you can't drive that. You have to be like driving super carefully because like, you're a student driver. You
Yeah.
can't. you
Yeah, I
can't
was going
drive
like a
the
mile over
Camaro
the
yet.
speed limit for the most part.
I was
He just like, yeah, you're
terrified.
fine. Keep
Alright.
going.
I was terrified of driving when I first, like the first 2 sessions.
Yeah. I
'Cause
was
my
so
lady,
scared to
who's-
start driving.
If she's watching this, I love you. If you're not watching this, total psychopath.
There's VODs.
Throws me on 36 on the first day. I had no idea what I was doing. It was horrible
Bob
driving.
did that
Oh,
too.
Bob did that. But like, you have to. I think they kind of get a feel that like if you have like decent eye-hand coordination, aren't terrible.
Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, we're just gonna go on the road, just go slow. Because I mean, like, you're gonna have to go eventually. You know?
No, like I wasn't like a dangerous driver, but I was terrified. I was so scared.
Well,
Really?
what I was
Yeah.
like so like I could
Also, I
have
sucked
got
at
my I
turning
could have
left.
gotten my permit like so much earlier, and I could have had my license so much earlier, but
oh yeah,
I
remember
was-
that.
terrified to start driving because like I just like remember or I like just like hear stories of like terrible car accidents and like people like running over literally running over their kids while backing out of the driveway.
I
Like,
almost-
that's, like,
my best
that's
friend's
so
mom almost
scary.
did that.
Fortunately, I don't have any kids
That's
yet.
or,
I almost ran
you
into some
know
kids in
what
my
I mean,
neighborhood.
like running
Oof,
over like
close one.
people and like
I did.
it's like the scariest like they made it sound like the scariest
That's why I
thing.
drive.
Yeah. Vehicular manslaughter. It's like
I gotta get
murder, but,
points.
like it's like a BOGO.
It's like I'm doing crime bingo. I just
Yeah.
have one more fill it out. And that's vehicular manslaughter.
I'm
I got arson. I got larceny.
I'm playing crime bingo, and I just got
I got
blacked out.
I got bingo on vehicular manslaughter.
I got
What do you
I
get when you win? Just what is it?
A prison
lifetime
sentence?
Yeah, literally
life,
long
lifetime-
prison
life
sentence.
sentence.
Life sentence.
That's epic.
Keck.
That's
Ah.
hot.
That
Very,
is
very epic.
Keck.
Now, on to our next segment, because honestly, there's a bit of a fun discourse, I believe. Either way, we're going to think of 2 animals, alright? And we're going to try to combine them to make the worst animal you can think of, the most terrifying thing imaginable, and the coolest animal you can think of.
And I think she's objectively the shittiest.
Wait, can you
The-
say the
the-
question one more time? I spaced out.
So you take 2 animals of your choice. They can be whatever you want, and you have to combine them in a way that makes it like a monster from hell. And one that is the coolest animal you can think of, and the worst, just like an
Got it.
awful,
Yeah.
terrible thing.
Okay.
That's a loaded.
Uh,
I have my
My I think I told Matt this was the anglerfish, correct? Is that what it's called?
Anglerfish.
And like a tarantula.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Like the
He's got, like,
ugliest like you like
8
he
legs
hangs
with
out
like the
he literally
lantern.
you think about like
Yeah,
he
the
hangs
leg.
out in the dark
Oh, and then
and
the
he,
leg
like, has
comes
the
up-
light-
Oh my
Oh,
and you
I
just
It
see
starts
it.
running after you.
and
with
you
the
just
leg.
see it.
Oh.
And then it just like starts exactly just starts running at you with
Like a
all its 8
human-sized
legs. Yeah,
one,
That's
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
it's an Area
That's
51.
yeah.
That's
See, I
terrifying.
wouldn't want to go to Area 51 just like because I'd be terrified to find out what I see.
I
You're
don't know
looking
if
for
you guys
cat
have-
e-girls and you find that thing. Like,
I don't know if you guys have heard.
Yeah,
of
we
the-
can go to Area 51. It's just Belle Delphine in her
Belle
bathwater. It's just a big
Oh,
Belle Delphine
PSA.
bathwater warehouse.
she was living there the entire time.
PSA: Belle Delphine's bath water doesn't actually have any of her DNA in it. I read something. The molecular
Heck, Why'd
biologist
I buy it then?
did testing on it, and there's absolutely nothing.
I don't believe
Alright,
that, dude.
you're up, Matt.
All right, so have you guys ever heard of something called the goblin shark? It's like this
Yep.
creepy looking
Yes.
thing
Yes, I have.
where its
Yes.
jaw
That's
pops
all
out.
Google it.
It's
It's
disgusting.
terrifying.
So I'm gonna
It's
combine
just
that with either a giant squid with all the
Uh-huh.
tentacles.
Yeah, that's ooh.
The,
And the
oh, you know
tentacles
those
around the
barbs?
mouth.
Oh,
They
that
have
is ugly.
They have barbs in their tentacles.
Yeah.
Those are
So
that's a
that's
colossal
unfortunate.
squid.
Oh,
I was either that or I was gonna do peregrine falcon.
I don't know what that is. It's just a
a
falcon.
bird.
Just a bird.
Is this
that
a falcon?
goes very
Or like
fancy
fast.
names.
a vulture or anything of that sort.
See, like, are we looking for like the ugliest, or are we looking for like the
Something-
overall like worst that'll like kill you and
Most
like,
terrifying.
Yeah,
Should be it.
something that just is horrifying to look
See
at.
that would be the
Spiders are probably OP.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
Sucks to kill them.
tarantula and like any kind of bird.
Tarantulas
That's
don't
big
get me
bird.
as much as small spiders. Like the teeny ones that are like yellow and are like not like teeny, but like they're like pretty sizable. Like tarantulas, people keep as pets. It doesn't get me as much. But when I see like a
Nah,
just like
I
a
could never
spider like this big, and it's just like.
or like daddy long.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
you
have
know
a
those,
problem
like
with daddy
People who
long
are
ones?
still in
Those are
chat,
cute.
please offer
Those are
suggestions. We'll
They
talk
get a
about
pass.
you know those like water bugs that you always see, like the
water
creepy,
striders.
like,
Oh, the water
like,
striders.
centipede looking things that you find in like
Oh,
your
centipedes!
showers.
I didn't even think about
Ugh,
the house
ooh,
centipedes.
Oh,
Oh my God, wait.
Oh
No,
god.
No, house centipede and the giant squid, the colossal squid. So all the little legs are the
Ugh.
tentacles.
Barb tentacles. Yeah.
And on the underside, it's the
Oh
beaked
my
mouth.
God.
Oh, that's
And
awful.
and the size of the giant squid too. Oh my
That
God,
reminds
that'd
me,
be
I'll pull
awful.
something up. Uzai, what's yours?
I-
Let's pull it up.
I think one of the most disgusting animals, honestly, is the cockroach. I can't stand cockroaches.
Just a flying cockroach to begin with.
Like a cockroach and
Cockroaches fly.
a cockroach and a cicada or something like that. I feel like that'd be pretty gross.
Yeah.
You see, there's
'Cause
this.
I hate
You
bugs.
can pass
I
it
can't
around. There's
stand
this thing
bugs.
that is like this used to be like 3 meters long. It's a giant predatory shrimp.
Wait, dead ass.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, dead ass, dude.
There's so many
Dead-
crazy things
dead
like
Gross.
before the dinosaurs in the ocean. It's called the Cambrian explosion.
I think Will's was the worst out of everyone's.
yeah, the
Yeah.
anglerfish in the dark.
that would scare the shit out of
Anglerfish
me.
Anything in the
such a
deep
trump
sea,
card.
I know.
Because they're all
This
just like
terrifies
literal
me.
like prehistoric beasts.
That's
It's
a
nuts.
sleeper pick.
or like how about the gulper eel? So the thing, with the enormous mouth and the
Mhm.
tiny little body, and
Kinda like me.
just imagine I don't know something with rows and rows of teeth like
Like,
that. It just
Imagine that.
Oh,
Like you're
no,
just
a
like
What's
whale?
the
walking
old
down the
prehistoric
street
shark
one
that has
night,
like the mouth
and then you
like,
just
the
see like a
under-
giant
jaw?
light
The
just
thing that like
pop out.
spins
Yeah,
around.
it's
You're just
spirals.
looking at it.
It's
I know what you're
spirals.
talking
Like in the
about.
jungle or
and
some
start,
crap
yeah,
like
and it
that.
just like sprinting at you the
And it-
size
and,
of
like,
a
swims,
tarantula.
too.
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
amphibious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kill it, dude. Just kill
Yeah.
all of them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's never
Genocide.
gonna leave my mind.
What's number one? That's gonna be my nightmares. Dude. Let's get to the good stuff now.
Yeah.
Please.
What's the cool things? All right, cool animals.
Dogs are gonna be OP here. I'm just saying.
Are we looking for like the best looking, or are we
Lion
looking for
falcon.
like
Oh,
like
dog
dope-
bunny. Dog bunny.
Oh,
That's the cutest. That'd
It's
be like
cute.
one of the
Lion,
cutest.
eagle.
we'll make that
Oh,
another
coolest
category.
lion, eagle.
Best
for sure.
overall,
Just
I
a
think, is
lion.
dog bunny.
Well, that's a griffin. That's like an
Yeah,
actual
it's the
thing.
griffin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These things are dope.
Are like humans allowed or no?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, I feel like
My worst
centaurs
one.
are pretty dope. I think
My worst
centaurs
one
are
was
like
gonna
pretty
be a
dope.
human
Like
mole
those
rat.
nipples.
Oh,
Centaurs can't wear shirts. You weirdo. They can. But
I think the worst
Imagine
looking
like a
one,
fat centaur just like with his stomach just hanging out.
a human bald mole rat combo. That would be
very
terrifying.
epic.
That's gross. Yeah, that's one of the uglier. That's an uglier
Ugh,
one.
it would just look like a thumb that doesn't have eyes. Ugh, no, miss me with that. That's gross.
Crocodile.
Yeah, I
and,
like the griffin.
Snake.
The
I'm
whole,
sticking with
That
dog
catch
eagle
bunny.
snake's
lion-
like the same thing.
Dog bunny.
eagle
Dog bunny.
lion is
Dog
pretty
bunny.
cool.
Dog bunny.
Dog bunny's OP.
Dog bunny. Bottom text.
There's a lot of like mythological creatures that are pretty cool, like a Pegasus,
Mhm.
Griffin.
Yeah, that was pretty much my
unicorn,
Oh yeah. I don't know why I didn't just like put it together.
a unicorn.
Unicorns, I don't care.
Yeah, what's that hype about, huh? It's just
What
like
about
Well, they
horse
have
with
magical
corn on the cob on
dust.
top.
I guess they make rainbows or whatever, but like
Yeah.
that's going too far. I don't
They
like.
poop candy. What are you
What about like an electric eel and a
Yeah, so does
like an
Dylan.
iguana?
talking? That's mean.
It's not very.
What would be like the most badass animal? Anaconda gorilla.
The most OP.
It's
Bear
like, you know,
gorilla.
there's
Bear
like a
gorilla.
labia
Change my
is-
mind. Bear gorilla.
Yeah, dude, that'd be OP.
Bear
as heck.
gorilla.
Bearilla. Or a
Bear
bear.
Grylls.
Oh, that would be just imagine a bear with just like
Just
hulking
absolutely
arms.
ripped. Yeah.
Oh no, it would be really amazing, like a little songbird but with gorilla arms. That's the coolest animal.
No, I think lions are probably one of the most badass animals.
Yeah, lions
yeah.
are
Agreed.
hecka OP.
Lion versus tiger.
Tigers?
Which one's better?
The tiger. It
Tiger.
depends on the type
Aren't
of tiger.
lions stronger?
No, it depends on the
I have
type
no
of tiger.
Really?
Like a Bengal tiger is like, or Siberian tiger, or like.
White tiger's coolest.
What if you
White
combined a
tiger's really
lion and a
ruthless.
cheetah? Just like for like the speed and like strength of a lion.
Yeah, but you'd rather have a tiger's strength because the strength of the tiger is it's stronger than
Is
the
it seriously
lion.
strong? Are you sure?
Yeah.
No way.
Like the Siberian tigers they're huge. They're like 10 feet long, like from tail to head. And
Bruh.
they
No
That's
way.
what she said.
10 feet?
10 feet's like a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yes.
No way. Stop.
Well,
Google
you're
it.
including the length of the tail, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's
But
kind
still,
of
that-
but still,
that's
that's probably like a
pretty
what,
that's a good like
6
2.5 feet
six-
for the tail.
Yeah, but still, that's
Still.
That's still like 8
long.
feet. That's 7.
That's about as big as me. A crocodile can be that big.
8.2 to 13 feet.
Oh, that's even bigger.
That's a big
Okay.
range.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the males are gonna be. Like,
Well, yeah, that's the males.
Over 10.
8.2 to 13.
Oh, okay.
The Panthers, Black Panther, Randy
What-
Panther.
Black
Randy
Panther.
Panther's dangerous.
Randy Panther is just the white guy
Oh,
in
I-
khaki shorts.
oh.
With his,
The most
with his-
formidable
with
of,
his pink vineyard
carnivores.
vines.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the best one, scariest thing I can think of is a warthog with the tusks and the goblin shark.
What the? A what? Warthog. And,
I still think that his wins.
Yeah,
The spider
just
and
the
anglerfish
aspect of
is
it being in the
terrifying.
dark.
Exactly.
But how about for the best one? I think Dog Bunny wins. I'm just saying.
Dog bunny is the
Dog
good
bunny.
one. I like
Yeah,
the idea of
the,
the anglerfish tarantula.
It
though.
averages
That's
about
badass.
11 feet with the tail averaging 3 feet. So the length of the body's 8 feet. The length of the
That's
head to tail is
insane.
8.
Really, anything
Wow.
with bioluminescence is cool. Like,
Yeah. You
So
did,
I
oh,
wanna
you,
imagine-
That's on my bucket list. Go to one of those like bioluminescent beaches.
I
yeah,
went
and
to
you
one.
just like
I went to one.
I
of
went
those.
to in
It's
Puerto Rico.
amazing.
That's,
yeah.
Do they
that's
live
so
up to
cool.
hype?
I went on
You
my
can
birthday. Oh, absolutely! You could see a stingray like glowing in the water. It's insane.
I went to one in I went. Where was I?
Cayman Islands. There's
No.
one there.
There's only
Somewhere-
a few in the world. There's
I
not
forget
that
where
many.
it was, but like it's you like drive a boat through it, and the wake
Yeah.
like lights up.
Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah, like when I got to swim in it. So when you get out of the water and you like go back in the boat, you have like glowing things coming off your arm. It's just the droplets coming down. It's a crazy
It's the
experience.
coolest
You should
thing.
definitely do it. I
That's
think
so
everyone should do it
dope.
once. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is so.
And you
It's
have
very
to
cool.
go at like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. That was the
Pitch
worst
black.
part.
Does
but
it
it
even
was
show
fun.
up in the day if it's in sunlight?
No,
No,
Not at
it's
all?
impossible. No, it just looks like a dirty river. Like it's like
Well, I mean, you
Turns
live in
out that
Jersey,
the
I'm very
Navasink
accustomed to
River
that.
is actually bioluminescent.
Yeah,
It glows
it's just
green.
like glowing
It
from
glows
like
green.
yeah,
green.
just glowing from like decaying fecal matter.
No, you're not wrong about that.
radioactive fecal matter.
Like, there's one day this summer, sometime in early June, I walked out to my dock. There's just the beach is just covered in dead fish.
Yeah.
There's literally
Ugh.
nothing else, and there's just dead fish floating in the
Just
water.
remember when there was like
gross.
a
No
hike-
birds are in the ocean.
The thing is that like
Disgusting.
Navasink River's like actually gotten a lot cleaner, cause like ever since they like did this like oyster like Monmouth University did this like
Oh, I was part of
research
that.
thing with like putting oysters in, and what oysters do is basically they filter out the water, and now like they put it like all over the Navasink River, and the Navasink River's gotten like significantly more
What
clean
did,
over
what did
time.
the sailing clubs do that are on there? Like the small boat sailors that are on that boat? Because remember when there was like literally
Pray for
too
the
much,
sailors.
like too much feces in there to like swim comfortably, like safely. Like what do they do? They just like not
Sail.
sail. Like what happens?
Yeah,
Probably.
if
What
like
if
you
you capsize?
capsize, your boat just kind of melts.
You just gotta get pink eye and die. Like what happens?
Probably
You,
not.
you like you put your hand in and just it just sears it off at the
Yeah,
bone. It sizzles.
exactly. That's one thing. I
Just
don't
turns
miss
into
about my old
Hulk's
job.
arm when he puts on the
I
Infinity
miss those
Gauntlet.
things.
Now, actually, what's like the scariest thing you guys have seen like in the ocean, just swimming around?
I actually saw a shark while swimming one time.
Ooh.
I had thought I saw a shark. I was sailing on a 420 and I thought there was 2 sharks swimming up next to me, and it turns out it was a ray with their 2 fins, and also who knows with their 2 wings. Also, who knew it was because I thought it was their 2 dorsal fins coming out of the water. Who knew there was rays in the bay? I didn't.
I did
didn't
not
either.
either.
Now you do.
But yeah, I was it was like a small thrasher shark. They actually caught it.
The thresher shark, the one with the really long
Yeah.
tail.
Where was it?
Really?
Yeah,
Are you sure? Where was this?
it was in Florida, maybe?
Thresher shark is Pacific.
I don't know. They caught it. They said it was
Maybe
a thresher.
you're wrong.
Maybe
No,
they
no,
maybe
Thresher
that's
sharks
what
are
like the
Pacific,
people
'cause I used to
who caught
watch.
it said.
I used to watch.
That's what I thought.
What's it
Shark
called?
Week?
Wicked Tuna.
It was probably like
And
it
they used
was
to
probably
make shows all the
that's
time.
what the
Yeah.
people who
That
said-
show was a
who caught
clapper.
it said.
Marciano's my guy.
Tuna tastes delicious too.
Anyway,
Oh,
whatever.
you're right. Sorry.
Ooh,
I mean, 'cause
sit
I
down,
played
Matt.
a scuba diving game when I was younger, and you could only find
Subnautica.
fresh. No, that came
Wait,
out. I
was
do
it on
want
the
to.
Wii?
It was Endless Ocean. Yeah.
Oh my god, yes! I
That
love
game was
that
the shit.
game.
I love
Holy
that so much.
crap! I don't
I
think
played
anyone
the-
else in the world
I
played
played
that game.
I played the crap out of the sequel though. It was amazing.
What was it called? What was the game called?
Endless Ocean.
Endless Ocean 2.
You're just a
Endless
scuba
Ocean
diver,
2 Blue World. Oh my god.
and you just look at
Is that the one
stuff.
that John
It's
always
actually
plays
a
on the
really
PC?
cool game.
Or is that the one that John?
that's
that's probably
Subnautica. I
Subnautica.
want to get that one though.
That
It looks
game's
really
fun.
good.
Once they
game's
come out with
really fun.
multiplayer, I'm buying it.
That game's
They're doing that.
really
They have
fun.
an expansion coming out.
I'm waiting for it.
What, Subnautica?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
need
is
to buy
it.
myself a
This
PC.
game was amazing.
I loved it. It was. I put so
Literally,
many hours
it's just
into it.
it's just a giant ocean. You can find like
That's where I learned about that shrimp thing. It's like a
Yeah.
hidden
Huh.
creature.
literally you're
That's
just a
actually
scuba
cool.
diver and you can like move around and you just find.
Everything. You go into the
Everything.
abyss. You find. That's how I know all about the ocean. I
Ooh,
played
we
the
shouldn't
shit
get
out of
this.
that game.
Wait, they had a
Boomer.
seat. What is this? They had this.
It must have been the DLC.
No, that one actually. Oh no, yeah, they do have the sea serpent in that game.
You had to buy the season pass for that.
They have the sea serpent, and they have that weird shrimp thing, and then they have another thing. It's like a, you know how they have the nautilus, and it's like it looks like the snail, the squid. in it?
Nautilus, like
It-
the
the
Lego
shell-
Legends character.
The shell is just like this really long
Bruh.
triangle.
Dude, League's back. League's back.
It's not. You've said that
TFT is
a
back.
million
Team Fight
times.
Tactics. Try it out.
I've
Is it
never heard of
free?
that game before.
It's like a sub.
They just came out. It's
version
in
of
it's
League.
a
Oh.
League of Legends thing. Auto chess. You know what auto chess is?
I remember.
Bruh.
Do you say chess?
Auto chess.
Oh no, never heard of.
Oh.
Actually, speaking of chess, I think the smartest thing you can do when playing chess online is to start the game and then have another chess app against a master CPU running in the background and mimic your opponent's moves in the master CPU game, so you know the best move to counter. Is that
What?
not the
What?
solution?
Ooh.
Matt Padovano definitely.
Thinking,
I
lays-
think
lays
of
down at
more
night
solutions
trying to
cheat.
sleep and things like. You could have just took the time to learn chess.
No.
That's actually I can't. Dude, that's actually kind of epic though.
Yeah, Matt becomes a grandmaster in chess.
I'm up
Based
against
off
Gary
his-
Kasparov. I got my phone and like
Yeah.
I'm cheating on a little test. It's like,
Mr. Kills Clubs.
oh my god.
Jim. Love that guy.
All right.
Mr.
So
Gilly.
what do you guys think? Out of all the ones we offered, is the coolest?
The
animal?
coolest. I like the griffin. I think the griffin is one of the coolest animals.
Griffin is just.
I mean, it's like literally like the two most like
Trump card. It's got America, bald eagle, and it's got
like the
a
king of
lion.
the jungle.
yeah.
All right, well I choose Dog Bunny. So
All right.
You've read
What
that
even would that
evidently
look like?
clear.
Like what would that look like?
I don't know.
Just
to
cute.
imagine
I
it
feel like
live.
would it be cute?
Yeah, it
I was
could-
imagining like a
adding
horrific
two.
mesh.
Yeah, adding two
And
like
no,
kill
It'd be
me.
like a Frankenstein's monster.
Adding
How
two
about that?
things
Chinchilla
that-
bunny.
of
Chinchilla
mammals.
bunny.
Oh, that's
That
adorable.
would be
Yeah.
cute.
Even though
There
it
we
looks
go.
almost exactly the same.
No.
Yeah, no. Guinea
Got
pig
bigger.
and hamster. Trump card. It's literally just a
It's a
guinea pig or
medium
hamster.
Me
size,
accidentally
not large.
sits on it.
Yeah. This one doesn't
Alright.
quite fit. Can I get a medium?
But speaking of fish,
Guineaster.
have you ever thought like if there's something down the ocean that's like absolutely insane, like that would like change mankind as we know it if we found it? Because there's so much.
There's like
Yeah, we
95%
have
of
it
the
to
ocean that's still unexplored.
We know
Yeah.
more about the moon than we do about the ocean. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That
We
statistic
live.
is.
We
that's-
apparently only
that
know, like,
statistic's crazy.
A little more than 5% of all life in the ocean.
Dude, what if there's like temples
Yeah.
down there or some crap? I don't
Ocean
know.
monument.
Dude,
Gotta
we
kill
find
the
out
other
that-
guardian.
Dude, there's Atlantis definitely exists. Atlantis exists.
You're gonna
change
get
my mind.
mining fatigue when I'm offshore sailing.
Let's
Like,
see.
you just gotta bring a milk bucket wherever you go.
That's facts.
Oh, speaking of Minecraft, join the semi-formal podcast Minecraft server. I am the only one who plays on it.
Dude,
I'm the only one who
keep
still
forgetting to
plays
get
on
on.
it.
But
I forgot my
Um,
Microsoft
I forgot.
account.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I forgot my password.
You
I
can
don't
just
wanna buy
sign in
Minecraft
using your
anymore.
old email.
can you play on?
Can I play on? Can we do like the Xbox version? What's it?
Yeah.
Bedrock?
Yeah,
Does
Minecraft
it
Bedrock.
I mean, yeah, we can. I'd have to restart from nothing.
Matt dies.
Me when I have to restart from nothing.
Because I far prefer Minecraft Bedrock. But hey,
Dude, what? Hold up.
What was that noise?
did that come out in the headphones?
It did, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Good. Good.
Ethan screeching moment.
Okay, so unfortunately our conversation
We should
is
get-
dying.
Wait, no, dude.
We should get a soundboard in here and just like record everything.
Oh, you mean that
things
little
we say.
thing?
Right?
No, but we should get
It's
like
like
an
here
actual
21
soundboard
truly
where we
bizarre
can like
things.
record what we
It's the
say.
same picture
just
of
press
like the
random
butterfly and
buttons
the
all over
dude.
the
That's
And just
really
like
have
bring up like stupid
vocal
things that we,
effects.
bring up stupid things that we've said previously.
Yeah.
Anyone have any rants or anything?
I don't have
Do I
any
have a
rants.
rant? I hate kids.
Mine.
Oh, same. Oh my
I-
god.
Working
First
in
day
the
at work.
service industry. Oh my god.
There's age groups where like they like so like the worst age group is from I was actually talking to Miss Adler about this. Is
4 to like
4 to about 8 because
Yeah.
they have no respect for authority and that's
spoiled
the age.
brats.
I
Yes,
want
exactly.
to punt them. I
That's
want
the
to
age-
crush them in a little
That's
ball
the age
and
where
punt
like
them
their
into the
parents
ocean.
don't say no to anything that
Mhm.
they want. So they whenever anybody of authority ever says anything like negative towards them, they just like flip out.
We gotta
Yeah,
exterminate
that's
everyone
I'm a-
between the ages of
Think
4
of
and
this. I'm a lifeguard. I have to yell at these kids anyway. One of them gets a squirt gun and is literally squirting me and other people in the face. I'm like, just give me that here. And he would. He's like, he. Does a little take the L dance.
Oh, dude, you have not felt the wrath, man. I got back
And
to work.
It was Sunday, and like I'm looking because I want a shift change. I've been stuck at the kiddie pool for 2 hours. George Sema and 5 other lifeguards are standing at the beach chair doing nothing, and not switching the shifts, which you're supposed to do every hour. Now, George, if you're watching, you know what that is.
Okay. So if you guys remember from like the work story thing, I work at the tennis club, and I have like the synagogue come, and,
Yeah, of
and they bring
course.
all their kids, and then they
What did
have
you just say?
no, I'm
Never
serious.
mind.
So like the synagogue has like this thing arranged where they have all the kids go out and they do like field trips and stuff, blah blah blah, right?
Sure.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
I love that.
Well, actually, it's terrible. So I have to work, and I essentially have to feed balls and make sure they don't kill each other.
I feel
So
this.
first day at work came up, right? It's the same exact kids from last year.
Oh my
The
god.
counselors could not give less of a shit. They just want to hit tennis balls too, right? So like the counselors like push the kids out of line, go up, I feed them a ball, and they absolutely smack the ball over the crowd. I'm like, all right, thanks guys. And the kids come up, and like half of them don't even want to play. They just want to hit each other. So
course.
like they're in the corner, right? Like blasting balls like it's baseball,
Yeah.
and they're like sword fighting. Like they think they're like Anakin versus like Obi-Wan or whatever. And,
What,
like,
what like
Revenge of the
age range are we talking here? And from the
Sith.
god.
Probably like 8. Like what are you talking about? 8 or 6 through 8, something like that. These kids
I
are
can't
pretty damn
stand
young.
kids older than 2.
Oh
They
my
can just
god,
die.
dude!
They
They
can
just
vanish.
don't listen. They don't care.
And
Once
they're
you hit-
loud.
Once you hit double digits, I feel like they simmer down and they understand
Probably, yeah.
the world better.
Yeah, I had
but
my baby
like-
cousins over recently, and I do love them dearly, but
God.
Agreed.
boy, do I.
The amount of
Yeah.
Fortnite dances I have seen. You don't know. You
My-
do not know.
My
It's a-
cousin from Turkey doesn't even know what Fortnite is, and he does the dances.
I want to
dude.
go to Turkey now. Oh my god.
They still do the
Wait, they
dances.
still
you
do the
can't
dances?
escape it, dude. You can't. He's like, hey, check this out, man. I'm like, you're doing it wrong, dude. He's like, I don't care, bro.
What's a Fortnite?
You can't.
No, he knows like the name, but he has no clue what it is. Like, I was playing Sims with my cousin, and he's like, "Is this Fortnite?" And then he starts doing the dances. I'm like,
It's
"No."
funny
dude."
because like you know like the shoot like that didn't even originate from Fortnite, but whenever
None of the
somebody
things
does,
did.
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
like
We're
whenever
getting
it's like
sued for that.
they're like it's just like turning into like everything is Fortnite.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
freaking hate it.
You're
Minecraft
Fortnite.
over Fortnite.
You are
Oh,
Fortnite.
absolutely. Thank God
Minecraft
we
over
grew up
Fortnite
when we
every
did,
single-
not now.
There's some meme savvy kids who scream Minecraft good, Fortnite bad. And I'm just like, just shut up. You said it 5 times.
He made it funny.
I made funny.
He made funny.
But
Yeah, I can't stand Minecraft anymore, especially when like our friends play it. Idiots, dude. How do you still playing that garbage? Piece of garbage, man.
Minecraft or Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Oh, there's a
You
Minecraft.
said Minecraft.
Oh, I did.
I was about to
take that
castrate
back.
you.
No, never. I love that.
No, oh, absolutely not. When Dylan says I'm gonna hop on the box and play some Night,
You guys want to hop on the box?
it just it
Get out of
makes. Listen,
I
I,
like-
love
I
him.
want to
I love
Dude,
Dylan.
I-
Very good friend of mine, but
Not gonna lie,
boy, I despise
everyone's.
Fortnite.
I had some of the best times on Fortnite.
I don't-
Bruh.
I haven't.
I'm not
I've
gonna
never
lie.
I
played.
Bruh.
despise that game.
Not gonna lie, like we had some long nights. We had some fat dubs. We had some
Oh
we had
my
some
God.
good
Just
stuff.
don't
You
say
has
that
the
ever again.
terminology. I think we all hate the culture more than the actual game, and that like
Yeah.
ruined the game. If that
Oh,
makes sense.
absolutely.
Because they had to like appeal to all the kids and all that crap.
Mom, I killed Ninja.
Oh
yeah,
my
the
God.
thing about Ninja is that he
Ninja.
got up due to a fad,
Uh-huh.
and he's not actually that good of a streamer.
No, he's not. He's like,
He's so boring, dude. And
he's also,
he's
like-
honestly an asshole.
yeah, he is, and he's
He
also
really
like
is.
not like even that good at Fortnite. Like he goes up against like actual pros and he gets clapped.
Yeah.
Why?
So just
What does he
watch
do?
my-
Why does everyone hate him? I've never watched him.
He's just annoying
He's
to
annoying.
watch. Yeah, he's,
He's
just
annoying.
like
He's boring. He's always offered by Twitch on the sidebar whenever you go there.
He became a fad, and that's why he became popular. Not because he's a good streamer. He's not entertaining whatsoever.
He was the
He was
first-
the first.
he was the
Fortnite
first.
streamer.
Yeah.
He was the first one that
He
was
started
good.
the trend.
He was the first one that was good, which is why everybody started watching him. But
Yeah.
now that everybody else is like even better, like
He's like
you just
he was like good enough
realize
to
like
get.
how annoying
views.
he is.
People just watch him because he's Ninja, and he became like the face of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Unfortunately, 'cause he's
they
honestly-
shouldn't have thrusted him into the like PR stuff for Twitch, not for him. Like they did like the Times Square thing.
Oh
and
my
all,
God, that's
and
hilarious.
all of the ads like around him.
Not
I
gonna
feel like
lie,
he doesn't
though,
have the
the
personality
people
for
that he
it.
play with, like I like I love watching Tim.
Tim's like Tim's
funny.
always been. Like, I used to
Yeah.
watch
Tim's
Tim when he
funny.
played CS:GO
Um,
like 4 years ago. Back when he had like 1K viewers, he was like the goat. Back when he had long hair. I remember I watched a stream where he like did like the donation thing where he got his hair cut off by PJ or whatever.
I also
The
like
good old
watching
days.
Courage.
I don't
I
Cowardly
think Courage
Dog?
is
I was about
funny.
to say that.
know. Don't
No.
speak of that. I'm
Also,
bringing
that's a
nightmares.
horrible TV show on Public
That was
Opinion.
terrifying.
Or actually
I-
Popular Opinion.
I don't know
hated
how
that
people
show.
watch
Yeah.
that crap, man. If you're
It
like
was like scary,
Terrifying.
but yeah, no, I do like watching Courage. He's funny.
The only streamers I watch are
semi-formal podcast.
Yes, of
Of
course.
course.
And tell your friends about it. Otherwise, we'll
find
Castrate
it.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Castration.
What is this? What is it with these castrations? Why are we castrating?
It's an
everybody?
excellent motivator.
Yeah, it's 15th century China moment.
Yeah, the only streamer I watch is a guy named Jay Schley, and he's hilarious.
What does he stream?
Just really anything. It's just he's a generally hilarious guy.
Miscellaneous.
Vlogger?
No, he's not a. No, I would never watch a
I
vlogger.
don't get that either.
Logan
IRL
Paul.
streams, are they any good?
I understand them.
We're an IRL.
There's some
stream, we
people that are
haven't-
so chill, and it's like their community. Like, do you guys know who Wreckful is?
No.
Mm-mm. I don't really watch.
He's
Twitch
like
all
a
that
ex
often.
Hearthstone World of Warcraft streamer, but he like gained a following and whatever because he's just like a chill dude and he just like hangs out the entire time.
Huh.
And he's good at his games and whatever, but it's just like it's more like he just like it's something you watch when you're just like, dude, I have nothing to do right now.
Yeah.
And you have like
Let
meth
me,
sitting
let me
there.
go watch someone else do a thing.
You don't want to see Ninja freaking giving you like a seizure like with his crazy gameplay or whatever, and you just like want to listen to
Yeah.
some chill dude
Yeah, that's-
talk.
that's reasonable.
about,
that's
like,
that's
real
why
shit,
I like
you know?
the guy Jay
Yeah.
Schley. He has a very soothing,
ASMR.
very
For
soothing
sure, yeah.
voice. No, it's not ASMR. It's like
Oh,
Think of
let
it-
me
Soothing.
tell you,
Soothing ASMR.
big fan.
I actually did watch a ASMR video and
only
I
ASMR
wasn't-
I watch
too
is
disappointed.
I only watch Lego Yoda CBT ASMR.
That
Yoda-
doesn't count. That does
Yoda-
not count.
How about this? Yoda eats hamburger while my parents argue downstairs.
Okay, I've slept with that one.
That one is good.
Have any of you guys gotten to Ice Poseidon before, like the whole IRL?
I always thought he was
streams?
a druggie, so I'd never watched him. But that's why I asked.
I had a big
'Cause I
had
never-
a
I
big
never
phase.
thought he was
I watched
funny.
him a lot. He had some funny crap. If you look at some of his highlights, there's
Well, that's
some
what I said.
really-
I watched his highlights. I just don't.
Oh,
he always
dude,
came across as an
there's
asshole to
some
me.
hilarious stuff. If you dig deep enough, you will find like the funniest things ever. I promise you. You will never
Does he still
laugh.
stream?
I don't think he's that popular anymore, but he really he really set like
Precedent.
like a genre. Like he put the IRL stream like in a he turned it into a thing.
Put it on the map.
Yeah, essentially.
So
and
what would we say the difference between like an IRL stream and like a vlog?
oh, much different. Like IRL streams is more like some guy who has the balls to do anything his chat tells him to. Like he'll go into a supermarket and like just start yelling and crap. You know, like
Oh,
that's
I
like an
can't. I
IRL
can't
stream.
stand those guys.
I love it. I love it. Like the mayhem they bring and the chaos they bring in, and like a vlogger is just like Jake Paul
Yeah.
with their fake ass like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
what's
can't
up,
stand
guys?
that.
Welcome back to my vlog. Today we're gonna
Dude,
be
don't respond
harassing
to
old
vlogs, though.
ladies at the nursing
Hey, it's Jake
home.
Reed 14.
Should we get him to vlog? That'd be hilarious.
That would
Oh
be
my
really funny.
God.
Dude, remember when
I'll
Kaz-
pay him.
Just
Kaz
on his Twitter
vlogged?
taking a dump.
Unironically?
I think
Yeah,
I'm,
Kaz
pretty
does
sure
have vlogs.
Kaz,
We'll find them.
Kaz had the vlog.
We'll find them.
Yeah, he does. He actually is in
Find them.
chat.
I thought we already found them. I'm pretty sure I've seen one.
Huh.
Yeah.
I have seen one. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, all I remember about that is him
Kazzy's funny.
doing videos in the student center, doing like floss or something on top of one of the tables while he's trying to do chem work.
Speaking of shenanigans in the student center,
Oh no.
are we allowed to Nate? The whole Nate fiasco?
Oh, they said mate.
What's the name?
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to mate. in
Let's
this
not
What is
use, let's
that?
not use any major names.
Yeah,
Wait, I
Mike.
don't know what's going on.
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
I will
Mike
we'll talk
clean
about
up.
it another time when everybody's forgot what I've said.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. I think we should end it here. This is a good
Yeah, I
episode.
agree. I
Ladies
agree.
and gentlemen,
I can click
Boys
the
and
button.
girls.
I'll be
boys and
Yeah, go
girls,
click the button.
I hope you've had an honor pleasure. It's been an honor pleasure having you. We've had fun. We've hung out. Who's eyes waving at the camera? Follow us on Instagram, Center Forward
Did you
Podcast.
guys just do a
Follow us
table
on
change
Twitch,
earlier?
Center Forward
Donate
Podcast.
money.
Follow us on
Donate
YouTube.
money.
Oh, can we
Donate
get
money.
donate? Can we get donated?
Yes, we can. We can.
Oh yeah,
Donate,
no.
donate.
There,
There's a donate button somewhere.
there's a donate
Feed
button
it.
somewhere. If we
Fuel
don't
my
have the
ketamine
affiliation, there
addiction.
might be a bonus stream soon because I think we may need one more bonus stream to get affiliation.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, we love you all. Thank you very much. Good night and good
Donate.
luck.
I need money.